Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Fab's in the house. And today I'm in the house with the Curtis Knives F3, and we're gonna analyze the look, the sound, and the feel of this big boy. But hey, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying this kind of content. So let's see what do we have here, because yeah, this is a big boy. Its overall length is gonna be 8.7 inches, let's say under 9 inches for sure, with a 3.5-inch long cutting edge in a 4-inch long blade, and the handle is gonna be like, I would say, 5 inches long. So let's see how this guy is comparing, for example, up against Ontario Rat number 1 and up against Ontario Rat number 2. And yeah, it's a little bit bigger than the one, not that by much, but for sure bigger than the Benchmade bag out. And look at this is the mini bag out. They're, of course, both smaller guys, and this is your Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So if you're a Spyderco fan, you might also own a Para 3, and you can see that the Curtis Large F3 is a big guy. Again, for example, this is like your jam. This is Chris Reeve Knives Large Sebenza 21. And you can see it here, the small Sebenza 21, and you can also see that this guy is kind of like smaller than that. This is a beast. It's thicker, it's heavier, it's bigger, it's more menacing. For example, check out, this is the Shirogorov Neon R20, and this is the Shirogorov F95 Nudist Slim, which is basically kind of like the same size as the Curtis, much bigger than the Neon. Let me just show you another couple guys here. We have the Hinder Knives XM18. That's the 3.5-inch long version. And what else can I show you? Why not? Just because we have them here. This is the Custom Knife Factory Sukhoi 2.0. And what else can I show you? Just course, Koenig Knives Arius. Look at this. This is a beauty, but still, it's yeah, smaller than that. So handle to blade ratio goes in favor of the Curtis, but you get the idea. This is not a small knife, guys. It's a big boy. It's a titanium frame lock. It's a custom knife made by Dave Curtis. It's built like a tank, as like an iconic design overall. When closed, you can see these nice lines. This is gonna be like a Wharncliffe blade, so it's gonna have that profile like over here, and it's kind of like a classic for me. It's one of those designs that, I mean, it's fantastic, and I think especially with this Wharncliffe blade, it just goes really well with these lines like that, being well balanced, in my opinion. So I was saying, yeah, it's a tank overbuilt titanium frame lock. In this case, you have nice and smooth scales with this. This is like a heat treatment, so it's like flamed titanium, which is kind of bringing out these shimmering colors from the titanium. It's probably not my jam, but it's a cool camo effect that you can achieve with heat treatment. So check this out. You see also like some chamfering going on all around the edges of these scales, which are, by the way, like pretty thick. Look at these slabs. There's no internal skeletonization, and that's going to reflect a little bit more in the weight. You've got basically like a 2D milling. There's no curves, no 3D areas on these scales. You have this very cool finger groove, which is basically good for one finger. I can't really fit two of mine right there. It's gonna be good also like in an advanced choke mode, like if you take advantage of this finger choil. This is gonna be super nice for your middle finger like that. So really cool. You've got also like a Mohawk backspacer, like jimped aggressively like that. Sorry, here you can see it's Nicely done. You've got this aggressive jimping, which reflects also over here on the spine of the blade, and it's really cool. The bronze titanium finish of the backspacer matches the scales, and it's like protecting the tip pretty nicely right over there. You've got some very tiny, like this. You can see it's kind of like a very thin lanyard hole, but still you have that option. Of course, you have a very simple construction with one pivot and two handle screws. This pivot it's going to require a custom tool. I mean, it's doable with other tools, but if you don't want to risk to scratch the pivot, just use like a custom tool, like a proprietary tool. And then here you're going to need a two T8 Torx bit screws to take this apart. And it's going to be pretty straightforward, couple of caged bearings, and it's done. I mean, just clean it up, maintain it. It's going to be pretty easy. You've got these two, this pivot is pretty much flush with the handle. It's protruding just a little bit. It's captive because there's a stop pin on the inside which is protruding and just going into an indentation on this side of the pivot. So a pretty clever solution, very simple and effective. So this is not gonna spin, and it's pretty nice. These two screws are flush with the handle, so no issues whatsoever there. And on this side here, you can see that there's a screw, and this is for the stainless steel lock face insert, which is going to serve to eliminate lock stick between the titanium and the steel of the blade, because there's a contact right up the tang of the blade where the softness of the titanium might create some stickiness with the hardness of the steel. So another steel insert right over here eliminates that problem. Nicely done. Very good choice. And this also has an integrated lock bar stabilizer, so you cannot overextend this lock bar that way, and that's a very cool solution. Indeed. You have some interesting solution also for the pocket clip, which is, I think this is like a water jet cut titanium slab, kind of like polished. It's a tip-up carry only, it's not reversible, it's just made for right-handed people, and it's gonna leave like this much out of your pocket, something like this much. So it's alright. It has a nice clip tension, very well designed, and a good clip ramp in and out. So it's going to be very easy to actually slide it in and out of your pocket. So good design. It's I think it has an acquired taste. It's probably not my favorite design because of this angle here. It's gonna create a little bit of hot spots. But Curtis is, I seen some of his knives with a different clip, which personally I prefer, especially on the F3. And you see that it's like, I mean, it's a nice design, but I would have preferred something a little bit different. But I know this is like his signature, like this pivot over here, so it's just his design. You have, when you deploy the blade, something like truly spectacular. This is a fantastic polished Damasteel blade. The jimping is one of my favorite in the business. It's aggressive, but also has a nice profile, which is not aggressive as you know, when you start using it as a jimping is aggressive. Otherwise it's not. Really cool design. There's just a little bit of chamfering going on, not so much crowning on the spine, and then you have this magic happening here at the tip, just a micro swedge going on up to the tip of the blade, and then this reveals up with 100% belly edge up to the sharpening choil, which is actually also serving as a finger choil with some very gentle chamfering all around. So it's going to be pretty comfortable to do like a choke up position like that. Very cool. And then you have the jimping and also a little bit of chamfering around the flipper tab, which integrates nicely in the finger groove. So really cool. You just have this CCK Curtis Custom Knives logo etched on this side of the blade, and this beautiful pattern etched like a boss in this blade. Hollow grind, nice flats, plunge grind as a nice line rounded off, and this grind is really cool. let's check the thickness of the blade. So this is going to be at the thickest level. It's like 4 millimeters, or like 0.1595 inches. And let's just see. Let me see, maybe like at this point, how thick behind the edge this guy is. Something like over here, 0.60 millimeters. Maybe I can do a little bit, oops. Yeah, 0.60, which is going to be 0.024 inches. So it's a thick stock, yes, of course, but also it's thin behind the edge. There's a nice grind going on for sure. What also I like about this guy is the sound, because hear this. I mean, it's fantastic. There's some nice contrast with the opening sound and the closing sound. Opening sound it's not loud. There's some authority in it, but when you close it, it's very dampened and very muffled, very listenable. It's kind of like a mellow sound even when it opens. It's not scary. It's not obtrusive. It's a classy beast. It's unexpected. It's something like, from this guy, you would expect something like a blast, a thwack, a clack. No, it's super gentle. I love it. Also, what I was mentioning to you guys before is the weight. Because there's no internal skeletonization going on this one, and there's big chunks of titanium contributing to this 7.08 ounces of weight. So it's not going to be like the easiest thing to carry during the summer, for example, if you're in shorts, but it's going to be pretty good like in handling, because the feel in the hand is very good. There is some fantastic feeling. It's like super solid. These two coupled slabs are like thick, built like a tank. This is an overbuilt knife, and in your hand you're gonna have that feeling of like something like, oof, this thing is strong, it's heavy, it's sturdy, it's reliable, it's a workhorse. It's something like you want to use and maybe abuse too, because it feels like that strong, that solid. Also, I was saying, nice to choke up. You can also do nice reverse grip. You have a little bit of handle sticking out. So yeah, that's going to feel comfortable absolutely in the hand. Not much texture going on the flats of this knife, but you have some grippiness coming up from the clip, from the jimping in the back, and not much here, but when it's open, you have some grip also on the blade. So it's a very secure feeling that you have. Also the grooves, the ergos are fantastic, guys. Of course, there is no... Sorry, like that. Yeah, there's no chattering and no rattling when this guy is shaken, and there's also like no blade play and no finger soreness to the during the deployment, because you have a nicely designed flipper tab. It's huge. It's big. Like, look at this. I mean, this is undeniable, but it's nicely designed because you can do like a push button here, like very nicely, like so, and deploys like a beast, or you can just do a light switch like that, and it's fantastic. You have the right amount of jimping, the right amount of curvature. Zero finger soreness. You can play with this guy all day long, and it's gonna deploy reliably. Also, of course, there's no not lock stick here because of the stainless steel lock face insert. You have the right amount of ramp in the clip, so it's nicely done. This guy runs on caged bearings, and it's gonna deploy like super fast. And the blade is heavy, so that's why when you disengage the lock bar, you have this effect, like the blade just wants to chop your fingers and wants to close like that. So very cool guillotine effect going on. Very cool. Look at this. Oh, this is a very nice action, guys. You also have some detent suction at the end, like kind of like a magnetic effect. You have a nicely dialed in detent, but you don't have any detent ball ramp, so you're gonna feel this little bump over here, but nothing too crazy. I mean, this overall is a truly stunning knife. It's the F3 from Curtis Knives. It's a great custom titanium frame lock. Looks menacing, looks good, but it sounds like a gentle beast, and it handles like very nicely. Just a little bit of weight, too much, and this is a pretty perfect beast. So there you have it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Stay tuned.